Hi there everybody, Ollie here, aka Secret Nimbus here, another Feed the Beast Unhinged Let's Play video. So at the end of the last episode I had been working on my automated mob grinder. I've been doing a little bit of work on it off camera, and just before it gets dark I'm going to go inside and, well, just as it's getting dark I'll just go inside and sleep quick before showing it off to you, as it is all still outside, so come on, it's going to be night soon. Just to show you the spoils of it before I show you the kind of the completed article, if we search for ender pearls, there we go. So I've managed to acquire 561 ender pearls since I set it up, which is just absolutely mental. Pretty good. There we go, so now we can sleep. Just thought, you know, may as well show you the quick spoils there, just while I went for it to become fully nighttime, so I can hop into my little bed. So yeah, I've managed to produce 561 ender pearls off, while I've been working on it off camera. So let's take a quick look at this. So it's kind of crazy. It kind of overflows very badly, so I kind of have to come along occasionally and kill off all these kind of escapey little baby cows who don't get quite, because I think baby cows can escape through fences for some bizarre reason sometimes. When they're like overflowed, they're kind of like forced out, which is a bit weird. But hey ho, but as you can see, this little section is currently full of baby cows and sheep waiting to be grown up and killed by the mob grinder. You can see them being killed off there. All the essence from that goes into my what's the word I'm looking for? My auto spawner, which is now in the middle of this kind of room. As you can see, it's kind of just, if you have a quick look on the mini map, you can see an enderman that's just been killed there. Just see him dying, and then when he dies, all the excess essence goes back into that auto spawner. So yeah, it's a kind of quite a nice automated process now. So I just converted this all over, so the mob spawner is just inside this darkened wooden room made from jungle planks. The grinder has a ME interface on top, because I think for some bizarre reason Minefactory reloaded machines work much better. Instead of using like import buses, just stick an ME interface on top. So I've got an ME interface on top to take any items that are being sucked off. It's the same with the grinder over here as well, so that's a kind of a glitched out cow there. But yeah, it seems to be working alright. I might have to slaughter some of these cows in here as it's kind of overflowed a little bit. I think it's where the chronotyper hasn't quite got these into one side, and I don't know why these all seem to want to congregate all on this little bit here, but they grow up and get slaughtered. And as you can see, it's managed to produce a fair amount of ender pearls, which is very nice indeed. So for that reason, we can continue work on some of our modular power suit upgrades. So let me just dump that in there for now. So where were we? So if we grab all our modular power suits back out, a little bit of lag there. So somebody suggested kind of like taking out all the batteries. So if I just salvage all 4 of these, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I'm sure I'll think of something. Let me just salvage all the batteries, and then we just go back to the power fist and then just whack this up to maximum. So that's 10 kilos. That's a pretty. So I'm just wondering what it means by IC2 tier. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm not entirely sure what the IC2 tier is. But do I really want to have the battery at maximum size? Yeah, let's have the battery at maximum size. So now that we have lots of ender pearls, instead of going for like diamond or iron plating, what we're going to go for is energy shield. So for that we need force field emitters. I think for the jetpack module we also need ion thrusters, which also take so if we go to ion thruster, where are you? Sorry, I'm just trying to get my microphone cable out of the way. It's really annoying me. So yeah, we need force field emitters for the ion thrusters. So let me just take a quick look at. So each energy shield requires 2 force field emitters. So I need 2 for. So I need 8. 8 for each. 8 altogether for the energy shields. And how do you make the Apris armor? I'm going to have to make that at some point. That's going to be fairly handy when I start breeding up in the next episode or 2. And for the jetpack I'm going to need 16 force field emitters altogether. So if we just go to force field emitter, here we go, force field emitter. So what do we need? So we need, was it 16 of these altogether? So I'm going to need 16 advanced circuits. So I may as well tell my ME system to start auto crafting all of that up. So if we go to, here, make sure this is crafting 16 of these. And then I might need a few more as well. Let me just go back to the thruster. Yeah, I need an advanced circuit, so I'm going to need another 4 of those bad boys. Just check if there's not a... Oh, I could actually use the HV capacitor if I had a superconductor. Yeah, I'm going to go for the... which recipe am I going to go for this? probably... The advanced machine block isn't that easy to make, so for these ion thrusters I'm probably just going to go for this recipe, so use the invar ingots and the wiring. So I won't need any more advanced circuits on top of what I've already got. So if we just double check how many we've got in the system. So we've got 10 already. So let's go back and start crafting ion thrusters. Actually, I think we're going to need to make some solenoids first. So how do we make a load of these? Apparently I can't. So I'm going to need a load of wiring, I think. So for some reason we can either use 3 steel or 3 iron. For some crazy reason I think I'm going to use all the iron even. Let me just go to ion thruster just to make this a little bit easier. Not ion thruster, it's not ion, what's it called? Force field emitter. What am I thinking of? There we go, force field emitters. There we go. So let's make some solenoids up. First of all, I think I'm going to need to make some wiring. Oh yeah, this is what I'm thinking of. So let's make a couple of stacks of wiring. Then we are going to need to make 4 times, so we need to make a whole stack of... So we've almost got enough wiring there. Let's just make a little bit more. Here we go. Let's make one more stack, like so. And then we just need to make... How many solenoids did I make? I made 62, didn't I? 62 solenoids. So I need 2 more solenoids. We just go shift click, 1, 2, dump them in the system. Then, in theory, we should then be able to start making the force field emitters. So we've got 12 so far, so we're literally just waiting for things to happen to craft. So we'll start installing all the force field emitters into our armor. So I've got all of them for that. So if we do field strength, just chuck it up to maximum every time. We should have plenty of energy with a full battery. So this isn't adding any weight, which is the beauty of using the energy shield over the plating. So let's just install the final one there. So that's all installed. So energy per damage is 500 joules. We will need to go and charge up the power fist because that's basically the only thing that's got my battery at the moment. So let me just run down here, chuck the power fist in there. Hopefully that should charge up pretty quickly. So it's got almost 5 million joules, which is fairly nice. So you can see all the installed batteries if you shift click over your modular power suit items. So there we go. So there's my power fist is all charged up. Now I'm not sure if I've already gone through and changed how quick. Okay, I think I'm going to slow down very slightly how fast my power fist break things, because at the moment, especially for the shovel, it's ridiculously quick. Like it's too fast, which is I know it sounds stupid, but hey ho. So let me just turn that down to maybe 15 times. Yeah, around about 15 times. I'll do it for all of them. I won't do it for the axe, because axe I'm hardly ever used. So I'm going to just turn that down a wee bit for everything. Use slightly less energy as well, which is always a good thing. Let me see if those... Oh, almost finished with the circuits. So if we go back to the ion thrusters, so if we go back to thruster, how are we doing? So let me just make a few more of these. So we need 1 more of these bad boys. How are they doing? I think they should be done. So let me just make sure I've got my final ion thruster. That's not what I wanted. Boop, there we go. So we've got all of the ion force field emitters that we need. So now, in theory, we should be able to make the ion thrusters. Was that the whole recipe? Yes, it was. So, 4. Bish bash bosh, we have our 4 ion thrusters. So now we should be, in theory, able to install our jetpack. It should be in this module. And then we hit install. So there we go. So I don't know how much thrust we want. I don't know, maybe 70 millinewtons? I don't know. So we're going to take off our we're going to retire our nanosuit, which we've been using for ages, and our electric jetpack as well. Let's just dump them in here for now. I had a few solenoids in here as well. Hey ho! So let's install our power armor. I look badass. So, just realised, before we start jumping around with the jetpack, what I also want to look at is the shock absorber. So how do I make that? So I need a servo motor and a couple of bits of wool. So how do we make a servo motor? Here we go. There's a couple of different ways. So you can either use machine blocks, electronic circuits, or this. I'm guessing this is the hardest one. Still not really that hard. You need brass ingots, which I don't think I have. Or just do a couple of pneumatic servos with some wiring. That's probably going to be the issue. Let's grab these solenoids out of here, stick them in my ME system so I can use them, make use of them. So let's just grab a couple of pneumatic servos, and then we should be able to make our servo motors. 1, 2. Excellent. Oh yeah, we need some wool as well, don't we? Wool. There we go, got a bit of wool, which is always nice. We can absorb the shock absorbers, because if I'm going jumping around, I don't want to take damage from someone who's just cranked that up to maximum. So let's go try out our new jetpack, see how it acts. So let's see how high. Can't take us that high. Maybe I need to increase the thrust. That might be a good idea. Let me have a look again. Where's the thrust? Let's just whack this up to maximum. There we go. Now let's see how high we can jump. Oh, that's more like it. And then, whoop, shouldn't take any damage as well because my shock absorbers. Oh, that's pretty cool. So now we've got an awesome jetpack like so. So it kind of works in a similar way to the Industrial Craft jetpack, except there's no hover mode, which is why I decided to install the shock absorbers, because like no matter how far I fall, all of it should be taken by damage. So all I really have to watch out for is my power on the right hand side there. What I also could do doing is installing one heatsink, which requires a basic plating. So let's have a look at that real quick. Basic plating, how do I make that? There's a couple of different ways. Looks like I just need like an electronic circuit and some ingots. Now, do I have a basic electronic circuit? No, I don't. So let's just craft 10 of them, just so they're in my system for later on. Also, what I want to do is make flight control. Flight controls are pretty cool because instead of like having to hold down spacebar to fly around, you can kind of like activate it and then just like move your like mouse and move forward, which is pretty sweet. I'll show you how it works in a second. So for that we need a control circuit. So let's have a look up how to make a control circuit. There it is. Again, a couple of different methods. So we've got things such as electronic circuits, glowstone and all that jazz. So I think we're going to make it in that recipe. Let's see, we've crafted at least one of them. So or can I do it like that? Excellent. So I've made a control circuit, which is what I wanted to make, and then I also need to make my basic plating. So if we go back to basic plating, shift click U. Nope, apparently I don't have that in the system. Looks like I'm going for steel, is I have to have more steel than I do refined iron, which is always quite funny. So we're just going to eat some steak as well, just because we're getting hungry. So we just want to whack a heat sink in. Let's install that. So how much is everything weighing at the moment? So that's 0, that's 5, that's 0, that's 0, and that's 10. So I'm only using 15 grams at the moment, which is not a lot at all, considering that I'm using the energy shields, which is like really kind of verticality, Y-look ratio. Oh, bloody hell. So what you then want to do is, that's not what I wanted to do. So hang on, let me just have a quick look at the controls. So if we go to controls, what I want to do is, where's modular power suits? I can't see it. Mode switch key, side inventory key, open, no. MPS flight control, modular power suits flight control. Okay, so apparently, that should be flight control. No, that's because it's controlling the mini-map. That's so if we go back to controls, if we go to modular power suits flight control, we'll change that to C maybe. No, that clashes with something else. V. So we've basically got flight control at the moment, which basically means that I can't, whenever I go up, I don't go down unless I point down. So if I just keep looking up everywhere, I'll go higher, I can fly around. Basically, I'll just fly everywhere. I point my mouse at, and then you can also just go higher by holding down spacebar as well, which is all pretty sweet. I just need to figure out how to turn it off. If I can get back inside my house. I'm trying to figure out how to get into the... Oh, here we go, I found it. I'm not entirely sure what button that was, so... If we do new, press V. Apparently that's being bound at the moment. So if we toggle flight control to U, and so yeah, if we toggle flight control to V, so there we go. Flight control is now off. We can still use a jetpack, but then whenever we want to use flight control, so say I go to the end and I want to go find some sheldonite ore, I can just go to the end, fly around using flight control, and I won't sink to the ground, which is all pretty sweet. So yeah, that's my modular power suit pretty much set up. I'll just have a quick double check, just have a quick sleep first, just have a double check, see if there's any other modules I want to install. What I might want to install is the kinetic, what's it called? If I can find it. Jump assist, sprint assist, swim boost, uphill step assist, jet boost, not what I want. It's like the kinetic module thing, so depending on how far you walk, you basically get energy back into your suit. So as you're flying around, you basically regain a lot of a lot of kinetic energy, which is pretty sweet. So active camouflage I don't want, environment I don't want, movement, sprint assist, jump assist, swim boost, and uphill step assist. I don't think it's any of them. It's not under energy, is it? I thought I could do it, but when you run out of air, that's not what I want. Unless they've taken it out since the last time I've used it. They might have taken that kind of thing out, so you have to come back and keep recharging your suit. So yeah, I'm just going to have to be careful of how much energy I'm using. I think I can probably put in like another battery pack up to about 5-10 kilograms, I think, just in case I wanted more, just because I've got the extra space, just because I'm using the what's it called, the energy shield. So yeah, as you saw, it took absolutely no damage there, which is pretty crazy. Bring it on, skeleton. Haha! Shoot me. Look, no damage. That's really sweet. If I can get close enough to him now. There we go. Kill him. I really should put the melee assist on my power fist as well, so I can use it as a weapon, which would be pretty sweet. So yeah, just to round off the videos, I'm just going to give a quick summary of where I've gotten to with my bees as well. So I have been producing lots of honeycomb, and then if we try and find some of the like imperial and industrious, so I've been producing lots of pollen. Go around collecting up all the pollen and the royal nectar quickly. How much have we managed to produce? I've basically been like leaving this like off camera quite a lot, just to like increase my supplies, because you need a lot to get going in terms of building your first alveary. So how much have I got? Managed to get slightly more royal nectar than pollen, which is good, but only by 1. It's not a significant amount, but it's enough. So this is my total amount of pollen and royal jelly. So I should, in the next episode, have enough to start making my first alveary. In theory, I should have almost enough to make 2, so fingers crossed, by the time I record this next week, I should have enough royal jelly and enough pollen to make 2 alvearies, which will then mean, instead of having to rely on the apiaries to produce so instead of having to rely on the apiaries to farm my industrious and imperial drones for royal jelly and pollen, I will be able to do it using the alvearies, which are far more efficient. You don't have to. I think even without frames, they will produce like royal jelly and pollen like far quicker than without. So hopefully, once I've produced my first 2 and I've got them producing royal jelly and pollen, I should be able to start producing lots more of them, and then we should be able to get onto the cool stuff, such as getting close to breeding our ruby bees, which was the whole point of loading this mod in, putting Binny's mod in the first place, was so that I didn't have to rely on digging up like miles and miles of quarries on a desert biome Mistcraft age. So hopefully soon we should be able to start breeding all the way up to some like some cool bees. So that should make well, and also what I will probably plan on doing is then also getting like platinum bees as well, so I can use the platinum from that to create iridium. So yeah, we're getting pretty close to automating our base using bees as well. And then once we've got this kind of up and running, we should then be able to push our way towards making the fusion reactor, which is gonna be the end game for my Unhinged playthrough. I think as soon as I've managed to make my fusion reactor, that's probably where I'm going to round the series off, especially as I started playing the TPPI series as well, which does have a lot more mods, which will hopefully last a lot longer. And once I finish playing this series, it'll give me some more time to do other series that I want to get into, maybe play some other games as well, or just concentrate on some of the series that I'm already playing, which would be quite nice. So yeah, hopefully in the next like this series will probably be over in about 10-15 episodes time, fingers crossed. So we're looking about 10-15 more weeks of Unhinged. So it'd be sad to see it go. I've rather enjoyed playing it. It's given me a lot of lovely subs, a lot of lovely fans, all of you that comment on my videos. I really appreciate it. It's always nice to see you do it, especially you guys have also started watching the TPPI series as well. It's lovely to see you watching that and also watching other series. It's all been fantastic. So we're getting towards the end game of Unhinged now, which is what I like to see. Like I said, I'd like to try and finish it off at some point, which will be quite nice. So yeah, I'm going to leave the episode there for now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.